specific tools were you given, or what abilities were developed at university that help you in your research now?
Well, actually, one thing that helped me a lot, which wasn't in school, but in my school days, is that in the summer times, I worked in a laboratory, a commercial laboratory. I actually started when I was 15 years old, working in the laboratory. And I learned a lot of methods for working in the laboratory. I had a lot of chemists who would train me on how to do things. This is when I was in high school. And that training, when you're very young, on how to do things in the laboratory, and also the importance of, because I did testing, so I tested products. Before the products went out to the customer, I tested products to make sure they were okay, which was a lot of responsibility. And I think all of that helped me then in industry. And it helped me in academics too, because then once I was in college and I went in the laboratory, I already had a lot of experience working in the laboratory. I knew how to do that.
Okay. Were you able to put into practice were you able to put into practice what you learned while you were studying?
Again, it's the knowing how to do research. So I went from, working on nucleic acids and biological systems, and they said, you're going to work on catalysts, and I had never worked on catalysts. I didn't know anything about that. I didn't know anything about oil refining. That's okay. You learn. So, so I had to learn all of those methods.
Okay. What are your thoughts about the chemical engineering major, and would you recommend it, and why?
I would say that it's harder today than it was when I started. There's not as many opportunities. I think there are still opportunities, so I wouldn't discourage anybody. I think there are still opportunities, but not as many. I would say if that's something you really like, then go after that. But again, be prepared to work on other things besides what you worked on in school. The other important thing that I would advise people is it's really important now to be able to work with other people. So, for example, a lot of what I do now, I'm working not only with other people in my company, I'm working with university professors, I'm working with people in national laboratories, sometimes government people, other companies, you're working with other companies. And a lot of times these other people, they see things differently than you. They have their own culture. And being able to work with others is very important, and also being able to express yourself and talk to people. These are things you need to develop if you're going to be successful.
How have you applied your research to the industry? And what advice would you give to students so that they can apply their own research to the industry?
Well, the first thing you should always do, that I did when I came to work for Chevron, is learn about the business. A lot of people say, oh, I'm going to do the research and hopefully somebody will. Learn about the business, learn about what are the problems the business has. Not just today, what are the likely problems they're going to have in the future. Where's that business headed as far as its technology? What kind of things are they going to be needing 10 years from now? And that's, once you learn about the business and where it's headed and what its challenges are, then you can start working on things that will help them. The other thing about learning about the business is go out and talk to people in the business. People that are operating the plants, people that are running the business. And that's important because you make connections with those people. They get to know you, because then when you want to do some research for them, they know you. It's not like you walk in the door and you're a stranger. You're going and you're talking to people that you already know, and you can talk to them because you understand their business. You can talk to them in a way that they will support you.
How necessary do you think is the application of the chemical engineering major while studying, while students are still in college, university?
The importance of
applicating the studies to make practice while they're in school?
I think that's useful. Like I said, getting that practical experience in the laboratory, especially for industry, where you've got customers that you have to deal with. It's an excellent experience, because then you can see where value is.
What do you have to work on?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And to finish this,
okay,
I would really want to ask you if you can send a message, like an advice to students, I mean, something of what you have said on the interview, like talking to people, searching for the problems, to make like an advice and just send it to the students, so we can put it on as a part of the interview, just to send a video, a message from you to students to work on their careers, what to do.
An advice and a message for the students.
a message. Well, I think I've pretty well summed up what I would advise people. Look for things that are new and interesting that other people aren't working on. Look for new areas, not necessarily what you did in school, where you can make a difference, where you can benefit society, and also things that really interest you, that you're willing to work on because you think it's important. At the end of the day, you know, it's not that someone's paying you. That's not why you're working on it, because you feel it's important. And as long as you feel it's important, you can continue doing that. And so that sums it up, I think.
One last question.
Yeah.
Which are your hobbies? Do you have any?
What?
Hobbies.
What are your
Hobbies?
Your hobbies. Do you have
Why sing an opera? So earlier this year I was Morales. I don't know if you've seen that opera. I was a French soldier that tries to get Don Jose's girlfriend to come into the barracks with him. And now I'm going to be in Tosca. I'm the sacristan who takes care of the church, and where Cavaradossi, the painter, is. And so I have nice parts. I've been in Butterfly. I was the U.S. ambassador. I've been in La Bohème and other operas. So I like doing that. It's very challenging, and one reason I got into that, besides it being a challenge, is to improve my voice and being better on stage. So I do that. I was in the horse racing business for for many years with my father, raising horses and racing horses mainly in Southern California. And I had to give that up. It got too expensive. Things that I liked doing, mainly that were challenging.
Besides the big family. Besides the big family.
Yes. Well, I had, about the time that I invented the ISOD vaccine, I became the father of triplets. So, so a lot of times, you know, I'd be feeding babies all night long, and then I'd go in the office without any sleep, and then go back again.
That's the fun part.
So you learn, you know, you learn